Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. You see their website. Right now is the time to protect your home from fall invaders. Ladybugs, stink bugs, box elder bugs, they all want in your house for the winter, but you can stop them with a one-time treatment. I did it a couple of weeks ago. I have seen nary a stink bug, ladybug, or box elder bug in my house, which means I'm not going to see the little critters this spring either. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Treat your home, protect it from fall invaders. All right, I want to welcome in the next round of analysts. We have VFL Sterling Hinton right here.
Hey,
VFL Kyler Curbison right there. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Very quick, we got so much to cover, and this is one of those games where I wanted to cover 1,000 things, so everybody's going to get a 30-second question here. Sterling, help me hold this thing up here.
Hold it up for you.
And amazing, I don't expect you to read all of this. I just want to show you what we're looking at. It's hard to tell green versus blue. Some things are circled, some things aren't. But what you got out of the 22 starting positions on this team, yesterday you had 9 guys in the same position that they started against Appalachian State. 9 out of 22. 13 moves. Now, guys like Brett Kendrick, like Emmanuel Mosley, they move from one slot to another. So you got some of the same guys out there, but only 4 on defense started in the same spot, and only 5 on offense started in the same spot from that Appy State game. Sterling, my question for you, team's 5-1. Now, some of that's performance-based, some of that's injury-based. You ever seen a team that has performed as well as this one with that much changeover in a 6-week span?
I'm the oldest player here at the VFL a panel that comes to the Sports Source, and I have never seen anything like that. I mean, that's a big kudos to the coaching staff, kudos to recruiting, and kudos to the attitude of the team. I mean, to be ready to play at a high level, to go to the west of the SEC, down to Texas, your first time on the field and perform at a level to give your team a chance to win, hats off to that team, man. Hats off to the Vols.
Well, you always hear next man up. I think people say that too much because there's obviously a talent drop from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, but they are, so far, living up to the next man up mantra. Yeah. Kyler Curbison, let me ask you, 13 carries, 89 yards for John Kelly, and what basically was his first big-time debut. You played with the guy. A lot of people were concerned going, I don't know if they're concerned now, but a lot of people were concerned, oh gosh, if he's your number 1 back next year. Tell me about John Kelly very quickly, how good he can be.
I love John Kelly as a runner. He's so aggressive in everything that he does, which makes him a great running back. He never wants to be taken down by one person. It has to be multiple people. He reminds me of Noshawn Marino at Georgia, and I know we don't want to say that because he's a Georgia guy, but when Noshawn would run the ball, he was aggressive and he got up first every time, and that's how John Kelly is. He doesn't let someone just take him down, and I love his fight and everything that he is as a running back. I mean, it's what you want in an SEC running back.
Jimmy Hyams, there were 2 controversial targeting calls. One was called, one was not. Let's zoom past the Nigel Warrior on the peel back block. That's a legit call. People may not like it. Guy wasn't looking. You're not allowed to get into him above the head. Would you agree with that?
Correct.
Okay. Evan Berry on a kickoff return. Guy lowers his head, hits Evan Berry, no flag. Why do you think they missed it? Well, 1, do you think they missed it? 2, if so, why do you think they missed it? Or what do you think they would say?
1, I think they missed it, because he hit him in the face mask. And so that was a miss. I was surprised the announcers didn't pick up on it. I'm surprised that Collaborative Replay in Birmingham didn't pick up on it. I don't know why they missed it. To me, there wasn't an excuse for it. And you don't have to be defenseless for targeting to be called. If you're a ball carrier and there's launching or somebody leads with a crown, that is targeting. And he was running with the football. So I don't know how they missed it. I don't have a good reason for it, but I'm sure that's going to show up on their tape on Tuesday as a missed call.
You're going to have Rocky Good on with you Monday. I'm sure that'll come up. I'll be interested to hear because my guess is you don't often see it called when it's not a defenseless player. My guess is they're going to say, and I'm not saying it's legit, it's like an outfielder saying, oh, I lost it in the sun. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but he's going to use that as an excuse. I bet they will say, kick returner like a running back. Running back get hit in the head quite a bit. We don't call that because he's not a defenseless player. I bet you'll hear the word defenseless in that. Doesn't mean it's right. I'll be interested to hear what they say, what Rocky tells you. Yeah. All right, and that's Monday Sports Talk, Sports Radio WNML. David Ligon, very quickly, you mentioned the offensive line earlier. They're on pace to give up more sacks this year than last. Yesterday, you went up against one of the best pass rushers in the country, had 4 sacks. The offensive line, how has it improved, though? You feel it has gotten better. can't just simply say continuity because you had a couple of guys come out yesterday,
Yeah,
two more
according
come
to
in.
the board as well, showing
So
the
your thoughts?
differences. You know, I think a lot of that does have to do with some of the personnel changes. You know, replacing Coleman Thomas at center with Dylan Weissman, I think he's really been an upgrade. One of the things I've seen, guys, they just seem to be a little bit more aggressive in pass sets, you know, and making sure that they're punching and holding onto the defenders. They're setting at proper levels. Earlier in the season, we had guys that were, you know, at different levels. What does that mean? Well, if you have a guy setting deeper than he should be, well, you've got a crease and an area for a defender to, you know, get skinny and get through, and guys on all these different levels not playing aggressive. It's just it causes chaos, and that adds to, you know, 5 guys not playing as one, and when you get that, you get issues. It only takes one person to screw a play up. And now they had some issues, you know, gave up some sacks and everything. But look, those guys on the other side are good players and on scholarship too. You're gonna
Especially
get
on
beat.
that team.
Absolutely, you're going to get beat sometimes, but you're going to beat that guy too. And we're seeing them beat the other team more. I like the opportunity of that sack level starting to, you know, kind of plateau out.
Your
Because
schedule's about to get a little easier.
It
too.
is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do. All right, this one's for everybody, and we got to be quick, unfortunately. But I was on the phone with Bob Hodge when UT scored the tying touchdown. I said, well, the rule is on the road, you go for 2, you go for the win. But I'm not going to squawk too much about that, what the coaches did. I can see that going either way. If he goes for 2 and doesn't get it, people are losing their minds. Should he have gone for 2, or were you okay with the extra point and going to overtime?
I'm absolutely okay with the extra point because we had Mo on our side, baby. Momentum was going with Tennessee, and we had a continuity on offense. We get the ball, we can score. And I tell you, that was a great decision in my book.
I would have said the same thing. I definitely want them to go for 1. We had all the momentum. We were killing it on offense.
So as a lineman, you would have preferred, instead of let's end it now, or let's try to end it now, let's go to overtime. That would have been
let's
your
go to
call.
overtime for sure. You definitely don't want to go for, you know, 2. It's in a hostile environment.
Yeah.
You
David,
got to
you-
pick a certain
I'm
play.
okay with that too. Yeah.
You would have gone with the extra point.
I was okay, but I'm going to tell you what, when I got that penalty and now I'm a yard and a half out instead of 3,
I thought
and the
about
momentum, and you're
Yeah.
killing them, I'm thinking, boy, I wouldn't have minded going for 2.
But you don't think he needs a new chart?
No, I don't. No.
No, this year? All right.
Yeah, and when you go with the chart, look, you still have to go by the feel of the game too. I don't care what the chart says.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
Feel it again.
Yeah, look, the rule is in that situation you go for 2, but that's a rule where I'm 51-49 on it. I don't begrudge them on that one. All right. At this point, the Vols are who we think they are. At least they're who I think they are. Do these guys agree with me? Come back. We'll quickly discuss who this team is, and then we're going to talk to the SEC stuff. Lots of stuff. Stuff.